What's up, guys? Mike here with King of Avalon Follower, here to do a video that has been very much requested by people, and that is a video about how you should be building your farm. Now, mind you, this is not going to be my tutorial on how to start the farm from scratch, rather where you should be focusing your upgrades and how you should be utilizing your resources. So real quick, we are on my farm account, and you'll notice that a lot of the things on my farm account, I got a lot of mail down here, timer helpers that haven't been used. I don't spend the majority of my time on my farm account. I use it kind of as a storehouse, much similar to the Alliance storehouse, where I can just deposit food onto my farm and never ever worry about hitting a daily maximum of only 250,000 food. Now, if you've watched some of my other videos, specifically the how to get resources fast video, you're going to understand why I'm sending food here. You'll see that I have 2.7 million food right there. Let's take a look at my city stats. I have an upkeep of 9,042, but I have a total food production unboosted of 17,831. So my production is almost double what my upkeep is. Now that's a really good thing, and I'll explain that again. The reason that's good is because it allows me to be able to send food from my main account every time I go over the amount protected by my storehouse, which you can see right here. On my main account, I believe my storehouse is level 18, I think. So I have 460,000 protected by my storehouse on my main account. Which means if I go over that amount, it gets burned off in consumption. And I have something close to a 300,000 upkeep per hour. So my food gets burned off really quickly. So what I do is if I am starting to burn my food off, I send it from my main account to my little guy over here. This only works if you're in the same alliance. So you may either need to be in an alliance with a lot of open spaces, or you may need to move to a farm alliance in order to utilize this skill. But obviously, here's my main account, Handsome Dr. Big Papa, relatively close to my other account, which is, of course, nicknamed Dr. Lil Papa. You're going to see that he's level 13, okay? So now let's go ahead and hop back in and address some of the main ideas of this video. First thing you're going to want to do, let's go down and take a look at what troops I actually have built. I only have 16,000. I hardly ever make troops on this account, okay? I have most of my level 1 troops still. The reason that I don't make hardly any troops is because I don't want my upkeep to go up. That's not the point of this farm account. The point of this farm account is to safely store food so it will not be burned off. So I have a very small force of 16,000 troops. These 16,000 troops, I do my best to keep out gathering where I can. They do assist in gathering. I do want some troops on this account because it is helpful, at least in my opinion, to have some troops on the account. I enjoy sending them down to whatever alliance resource tile we have. They do help in being a little added booster. You see I can gather 155,000. And if I hop on 3 or 4 times a day and just remember to send all these troops down to the Alliance farm or whatever resource tile it is, I can get about 5 to 700,000 in food every day just by my little account farming, which is beneficial. Over a 2-week period, that's going to add up to 7 or 8 million in resources on top of what I'm getting from my other account. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Alliance. So you're going to see that most of my mail is Dr. Big Papa sent you the following resources. I send 64,000 food in one shot. There's the 24% tax. I send 85K. After that 24% tax, it drops it to 64,000. So it's just message after message after message of me sending myself food every single time. There's no reason to send anything else. You're just going to end up paying a tax on something that wouldn't get burned up anyways. The other thing you should be doing on your farm, that's a really good idea, is make sure you donate into the tech talent tree for your alliance. So we go to the donations. You only need to donate a minimum of 6,000 resources per week in order to get the bonus. So you're going to go ahead and just do the donations, and usually what you do is I just max it out one time, and that's about all you're going to need. Now there's a couple of reasons that you're going to want to do this. You could donate more frequently if you really wanted to save the alliance points, which is good, and I'll explain that in a second. But ultimately, I do this donation because the number one thing that I want to get, and I'll go ahead and X out of this now, I want to stack, and I used to have many more. Where is it? There we go. even a low ranking, you still get 400,000 food, 400,000 wood. You get that every week. And at one point, I think I had like 7 or 8 of them stacked up. So make sure that you're stacking those up enough so that you can actually get the Alliance Tech rewards every week. It's a good way to get extra resources. Okay, back into the city. So you may see that I have an awful lot of farms, and of course wood mills and iron mines. Now I have the bare minimum of military tents and the bare minimum of hospitals that I need. Right now, due to the way the game works, I loaded up on food mills, and I loaded up on wood mills. Now I do not ever lack for wood on my main account. I have something like 30 million wood just in my bag alone. Wood is very easy to gather. Now there is a maximum amount of iron mines and silver mines and food mills that you're able to build. So what I'm planning on doing is, once I get to stronghold level 15 and unlock this area, I'm going to max that out with iron mines, and then I'm going to go ahead and destroy a few of these wood mills and just fill them all full of iron mines, and I'll have the minimum amount of of wood mills I need, which I believe is 2. And at that point, I'm going to focus on this farm being my storehouse for food and an extra iron and silver producing farm. Because as you find, once you get to about level probably 19, iron and silver become much more necessary when you're playing the game. And they're really difficult to gather. And if you've watched my video on farming dead accounts and players who have quit the game, most folks who quit the game are beneath level 15. Or even if they are level 15 or 16, they probably were making only a very small amount of iron and silver. So it's much harder to use that principle of farming dead accounts to get iron and silver. So the other thing you might notice, my wall is a little bit damaged still. Obviously, whenever I attack my farm account, he does get damaged. I kick him out of the alliance and attack him. You are going to want to make sure that you stay on top of healing your wall. If that wall reaches 0, then your account is going to auto-port. And since most folks don't actively play on their farm accounts, it's going to be a little more difficult to come up with the 2,000 gold to port back. Again, the best thing I would recommend is just donate to your alliance tech talent tree and then save those alliance points for teleports. That's usually what I do. Now you're going to see that while a lot of my buildings over here are ranked 13, 13 for all of the iron mines, and I think I'm about to start doing the food ones, ranking those up to 13. My unit producing buildings are all very low. Now this is the exact opposite of my main account. My main account, my farms and everything, I don't prioritize those as much. I can gather resources other ways on the map than just producing them in my base. But I cannot make units as well on this account as I can on my main account. Now again, I explained the units aren't very important, so I only upgrade these buildings when the game forces me to upgrade the buildings in order to get my next stronghold level. University is going to be a little bit important. You are going to want to make sure that you spend a little bit of time researching down the economy tech tree to make your production as good as you can, as well as your gathering. And that's going to double up with the development section. I don't spend nearly as much time in the combat area. It's a good idea to get yourself to a slightly higher march capacity so you can get, where is it? The extra march slot right there. That march slot will help you to gather quicker if you split the march in half. It's a good idea to always have double march slots. And then again, of course, for the storehouse, I leave that as downgraded as possible, because all the storehouse does is protect a certain amount of food and stuff up top, food, iron, and wood and silver. Well, when I'm raiding my castle, I want the least amount protected as possible. When you're attacking your farm, you're not paying any tax. What you take, you just straight steal. You pay no tax, so you want to be able to take as much as possible. Again, obviously the Hall of War, the Embassy, these aren't going to be as crucial traps. They're really not going to be that crucial for a farm account. On most kill events, what I do is I make sure I've spent off all of my resources. I send my troops to go hide in my main base, and then if somebody ports in, they can beat the crap out of my little farm account, and I don't really sweat it too much. I also have another great video that's about to go up starring everybody's favorite, Senor Do-Wrong. What to do if you are, say, loaded on your farm account and the kill event's about to start and you don't have an upgrade ready to go. There's nothing that you can do. Maybe you need 20 million for your next upgrade in food, and right now you've got 10 million. But you don't want to try to shield for 3 days on your farm account because that's awfully expensive, but you're also worried about losing all of your hard work. So Durang and I made a video on what to do in that event. So hope this video has helped out. Last thing I'll talk about real quick. You may have noticed my dragon is spec'd completely differently, obviously for pretty sane reasons. I'm really not doing a lot of fighting with this account. I'm mostly doing gathering, so you're going to probably find that your dragon is going to be spec'd more in the guardian area. You're going to see that my increased gathering speed for your troops for all resources is up, as well as food, wood, and iron. In fact, I'll spend a little bit in that right now because I have it to spend. And that's what I'm going to do in that area. If I happen to get intensity crystals for whatever reason, then yes, I will spend them, but I'm really not spending a lot of time going into the Dragon Labyrinth. Mostly this is just an account that I use to store food. So I spend enough time on it to level it up so it's useful to me, but not enough time on it to where it's going to be a particularly effective fighter. Lastly, if you've watched my video on the marketplace, same principles apply there. Really, the marketplace is going to be something that can help you get resources really quickly. So you're still going to want to apply those principles of the marketplace to your farm account where you can. Same thing with the vault. If you've watched that video, never a bad idea to be increasing your rate of return, but ultimately that's going to be up to each individual to stay on top of. So hopefully this video's helped. Leave a comment and a like, subscribe. I really appreciate the support, guys, and let me know what videos you'd like to see next, and we'll see you on Kingdom 75. Look for Dr. Lil Papa and Dr. Big Papa. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.